I remember it so clearly, the nightmarish moment that seared into my memory, refusing to fade. I was just a high school senior, barely 18, still hanging on to the last remnants of my innocence. I was getting ready for bed when an unsettling voice wormed its way through my open window, coiling around my heart with its icy chill. My neighbor, a stocky man with an eerie stare, had positioned himself at the fence dividing our yards. His words were filthy and disturbing, so lewd that they'd make even the toughest guy cringe. It was clear he'd been watching me. A voyeurism that made my skin crawl. Scared out of my wits, I kept the incident a secret, hoping, praying, it was just some kind of grotesque anomaly. The following morning, a grim dawn of reality awaited me. As I was dolling myself up for school, a strange noise echoed through the house, the creak of our back door. My gut churned like a stormy sea, a premonition that it wasn't my mom, but that sick neighbor who had trespassed into our sanctuary. Gathering my courage, I descended into the kitchen, my heart pounding like a wild drum. And there he was. This twisted caricature of a man, brandishing an 8-inch knife that gleamed ominously under the morning light. The predatory look on his face was one I'd never forget, a mixture of lust and madness that sent shivers down my spine. He rasped at me not to move, his voice as sharp as the knife he held. But the look in his eyes, it was as if I was staring into the darkest abyss. I knew then that complying wasn't an option. As he lunged forward, his grubby hands reaching for me, I darted out of his way. His intent was clear. He wanted to rob me of my dignity, to strip me bare. The sight of his lecherous grin, the very thought of his touch, made my stomach churn in revulsion. But I wasn't about to let him get what he wanted. Fueled by pure adrenaline, I bolted. I dashed out of that house like a terrified deer, my heart thudding in my chest as if it were about to explode. I pounded on every door I came across, my screams shattering the early morning tranquility. The fear was so palpable, I could almost taste it, bitter and metallic on my tongue. The cops arrived just as the sun was breaking over the horizon, their sirens wailing a symphony of salvation. The cowardly monster had retreated back to his den, feigning innocence. But his mask was about to crumble. The police discovered his sordid secret, a recovering alcoholic. He drowned his sobriety in vodka, fueling his deranged desires. He'd actually taken his twisted fantasy to the brink, almost following through with the vile plan that he had been brewing for months. The confession that spilled from his lips was chilling. He had been watching me for an agonizingly long time, obsessing over me in the most disturbing way. His sickening shrine of my photos served as a haunting testament to his obsession. Somehow, I escaped that harrowing ordeal, my innocence bruised but not broken. The memory of that day still casts long, dark shadows over my heart, a grim reminder of the fear and terror I'd experienced. But amidst the nightmare, I found strength I never knew I had. That horrific experience taught me the importance of intuition, of trusting my gut when it screams danger.